A lot of the other models just have a plastic or poly handle, which is fine, but this is a really nice feature. My paper lower. My name is Ross. Appreciate you checking out the Franklin County Forage channel. If you like what you see, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Anytime you like any of my videos, the more you watch it through, the more it helps my channel. Also, leave a comment down below. That helps as well. If you have any questions or comments or something I screwed up on or something you liked, whatever, put it in the comments down below and I'll be sure to reply. And yes, it is Franklin County Forage, and we do mostly hay-related forage things here. But I do cut a lot of firewood. I love running a chainsaw, call it chainsaw therapy. So I'm going to give an overview on my ECHO CS600P chainsaw. Let's get started. Here, I'm going to leave the guard on the bar while I'm handling it here. I don't think I would cut myself, but you never know. This saw has a very just simple on-off switch right here. That's off. Up is on. You have the choke, and this is a choke and throttle lock, or a high throttle lock, whatever you want to call it. So when you pull this out, all the way out is choked. And when you push it in, that's off choke, but the throttle is still locked. If you push the trigger, you'll hear it. That was releasing that lock. Rotating it around here, the fuel tank is translucent, so you can kind of see the fuel in it. You're supposed to be able to see the fuel in it really good, but you know, if it's really good lighting, you can see it. If it's dim, cloudy like today, you can't see it real well. It does have a decompression switch. This does have a full aluminum handle, and it's got a rubberized coating here, so it's not freezing cold on your hands. Or a lot of the other models just have a plastic or poly handle, which is fine, but this is a really nice feature. My paper lower. They do their anti-vibration or vibration reduction in different ways. So some of them, the handle is on springs and everything. Okay, so there's a spring here, and there's a strap here that holds it, and then on the bottom side, there's a spring right here. This down, I'm going to be holding pressure down on this, and I grab this bar. You can kind of see that the engine part moving. The vibration reduction is actually pretty well. You know, I've run Steels, I've run some Husqvarnas, and this is just as comfortable as any of them. You know, there's not a big, I want to say there's a big improvement, but it's no worse. You know, it's right on par. Moving around here, you know, you got your standard spike. The gas tank is translucent, it's plastic, but the oil tank, this is all cast, this is all aluminum here, because you're actually hitting up against the timber or the chunk of wood that you're cutting. I always grab that chain brake, and I'll just give it a pop. And if it's you know, like got some squish to it, you can just kind of tell it's not really high quality. This one here, I want you to listen to this. Pop. This is a 2-post chain brake. A lot of them just have just the one on one side that comes up, and it's just kind of flimsy feeling. It's just the standard 2-bolt. You know, it doesn't have any of the toolless chain tension. The chain tensioner is on the outside. It does have, and this is an option I like that is not on any of the Steels I've ran. I'm not saying that Steel doesn't offer it, but it does have an adjustable oiler. So you can turn it up, turn it down, depending on what you're cutting. You know, if you're cutting a lot of big timber, a lot of big wood, you might want to turn that up. If you have a bigger bar, this has a 24-inch bar. If you have a 24, 27-inch, You might want to turn it all the way up. If you're cutting in big wood, if you just have an 18-inch on it and you're just lemon, you might want to turn it down because you may not need as much oil. So that was one thing that I really liked about this saw whenever I bought it. This does have a toolless air filter access. You know, I think pretty well most of them have that. Performance is there, the reliability is there. It's a nice saw. So screws off, one single plastic knob, and then this filter comes off here. I'm going to stick this back on here. Like that. So then this just sits in here. Screw this handle down. I may have to replace the chain, and I'll get that on camera for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and check the oil and the gas off. They're just a regular screw cap, plastic with an O-ring. It's not the quick flip, I don't know what they call them on the steels, the quick flip cap or whatever. And we got probably 2/3 of a tank of fuel and oil. So just the standard tool, same size as a steel. Just loosen these up. In fact, one of these nuts on here is actually a steel chainsaw. I stripped one out, and I was down, and I didn't feel like going to get one. And Dad had a spare one. He had a steel. So the tensioner is actually in the plate here, and at the end of this video I'll tell you a little bit of my experience of that. It's not negative, it's just a screw up that I did, and one of the reasons why I have a new nut. So stay tuned! Here's the bar, the chain. I slide this forward, take my slack up off the sprocket, and I'll pull the bar and the chain off as one. Here you'll see what I'm talking about when I say rim sprocket. Usually you'll see these on professional saws, higher end saws. I think they're supposed to transfer power a little bit better, hold the chain better. You can see your chain brake right here. It's an inertia chain brake, and the action is actually right in here. You'll get to see the action here. So you see that, that's I'm going to start this saw holding it up. You know, in the book, you'll always see them. They always set it on the ground, put the foot in the handle, hold it down on the ground, and pull the chain up. I'm not doing that because I can't get it on video if I do that. Compression switch is in. Power switch or on-off switch is flipped to on, which is up. Choke is pulled out. Put the chain brake off and give her some tugs here. is cold nature. So it's got to warm up before it starts being a little bit doggy. I love this chain frame. Okay, so just to head off, some of you guys is going to comment on that. When I was running that saw, you saw the chain loosened up a little bit. That's pretty normal. I did go ahead and tension the chain. I got a pretty good size oak log here. Yes, it is dead. It is not rotten. You know, the outer portion is a little bit getting pithy. This is a 24-inch bar, so we're talking probably 27, 28 inch. Flip the switch on. I'm not putting the choke on, I'm not choking it. I'm not even gonna put it on high idle. We'll see if she'll start like that. And here we go. There you have it. Made a couple cuts, you know. This was a chain that I sharpened myself, so it's not a new chain, it's not a race. It's just a chainsaw, a real one. All right, let's go back to the house, wrap this up, so you guys be on with your day. Just took you guys out, cut a couple chunks off a good size oak log. It has performed great ever since I've had it. I've only had one issue, and it was kind of maybe operator error, but it was covered under warranty. And so what happened was, earlier in the video you saw me show you the tensioner, and so what happened was I was cutting a tree that had been taken out with a track hoe, still had the stump on it and the log, and I was cutting the log off the stump. Well, whenever it gave way, I was cutting, I don't remember how I was cutting, but it kicked, and it kicked hard. And it pushed that bar into the saw, and it bent that tensioner. So I took it in. They said, well, usually the only time we see that is if you don't tighten up these nuts. I said, well, I tightened the nuts. They said, well, maybe you didn't tighten them enough. I said, well, see if you can get them covered under warranty. Well, they got them covered under warranty. So then I started cranking them down. Well, then I stripped a nut out. So that's why I have a steel nut on here. So there is that fine line in there. You know, was that my fault? I don't know. You know, I was specifically not cranking down on it because I didn't want to strip it. Well, then they said, well, you've got to crank down on it. So I thought, well, maybe they're a lot harder nut than I thought. Stripped it. The good thing is the stud is harder than the nut. So odds are, if you strip one, you're going to strip the nut, not the stud. I like that. I would hate to have to change the stud. But that was one issue that I had. The other It's not an issue. It's just something that I kind of find annoying, and I don't understand why they couldn't have done a little bit better on these caps. The oil's not so bad because it's probably because it's oil, and maybe because it's an aluminum housing and this is plastic on plastic. But after you put that in, if you run it at all or wait any amount of time, you cannot get that off just with your fingers. You have to use the tool, because somehow or another, for some reason, it gets bound up. And watch me get it. Oh, I got it now. But usually, like you saw me at the beginning whenever I was checking the gas and oil, you have to use the tool. And I don't crank it down real tight because, I mean, I can put it in and take it right back off. But if any amount of time passes, then I can't get it back off by hand. You know, that's not a huge big deal. That wouldn't cause me not to buy another one. You know, I think that's worth $300. It's just me. The positives are the guys that I've been around that have steel and Huskies. This keeps right up with them. You know, it performs just as well. It's really comfortable. It's pretty well balanced. You know, it's not a giant saw. All right, so that wraps up our video. Hopefully you gleaned something from it, whether it was for entertainment, informational. I was trying to research this saw. I found some information, and pretty much everybody out there just wants to do a head-to-head competition. But there's so many factors where you could skew a head-to-head competition. I'm not interested in a head-to-head competition. If you're looking for a saw that you need to perform well, this probably isn't going to win a race, but it's going to perform well. It's going to be dependable. A 5-year warranty, 1-year commercial. That was the other thing that really swayed me this way. I mean, 5 years, it's still under warranty. You know, it's crazy. But I hope you found this helpful in some way, informative in some way, maybe even a little entertaining. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. I hope you get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. I hope you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. This is Ross with Franklin County Forage. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, everything you do, every view, every comment, every subscription really helps to promote my channel and my videos. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. God bless. Hey, wait a second. I'm going to stick a clip in here right about now. It's not the best look for you, but you can see him pretty good. I got my truck, and he was in. Oh, there's two of them. There's two of them. See him flying in the background? Back here? He's making a little loop around. There's two of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just wanted to stick that clip in here. Yesterday, I walked out and a bald eagle flew right over my truck, like 40 feet above me. I mean, it was surreal. And then I got to watching, I went to leave, and I looked and thought, oh man, it's already moved. And then I got out of the truck, took that little video. There's two of them. Holy cow, there's two eagles within 50 to 100 yards of my house. How crazy is that? How, you know, just the symbol of that is amazing. And it's an amazing bird. And I'm just so proud and happy and blessed and thankful to God that I get to live in the United States of America. And we are the most blessed nation in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Best footage, you know, I was just using my phone, but I hope you enjoyed seeing those bald eagles. And that's just a great way to cap off this video. Thank you. God bless. See you on the next one.